Hi, everybody. Welcome to the QB School. I'm JT O'Sullivan. Today, do NFL players watch the Super Bowl? If yes, how, when, what's it like? We're diving into it. A little bit informal, a little different vibe today. Let's get it going. Welcome to the QB School. All right, if you dig this kind of content and you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, notifications. We're at less than 10% of our subscribers hitting the notifications. I check. I'm all about the analytics. Subscribe, hit the bell. I appreciate it. In addition, if you haven't already, please think about joining, get the memberships, enjoy the content, the badge. Every time I see the badge on one of those comments, I get really excited. Make sure I comment back. So I appreciate the support. Let's dive into it. All right, about this time every single year, inevitably a handful of people come up to me and ask me, do NFL players watch the Super Bowl? And for me, the answer is a little bit complex. It's not clean and simple. I think the vast majority of NFL players absolutely watch the Super Bowl. Now, for me, it's really been kind of a cycle of how I take in that game for a handful of different reasons. I think initially, everybody in the league, not everybody, the vast majority of people love to watch the Super Bowl. It's kind of the culmination of the profession. You got friends playing, you got coaches playing that you want to watch your buddies. You're pulling for one team. You probably don't like one of the other teams, maybe a rival, all those type of things. Also, you're probably most of the time going to a party, Super Bowl party. You get to be the NFL guy, NFL player at the NFL Super Bowl party, all those things, I think plays a role early in the career. So I think, yes, I think for me personally, my kind of relationship with the Super Bowl is a little bit different. I remember really, like, for me, watching the Super Bowl, it was never really about watching football when I was growing up. It was always about playing football. Like, yeah, you'd have it on and you'd watch it and then you'd be like, you know what? I'd rather go play. And so it was this idea of like, let's go play in the front yard. Let's hit the backyard. Let's call the neighbors. Let's go to the park. Those type of things. So for me, I don't have a whole lot of like vivid memories of watching the Super Bowl. I remember watching the Broncos get crushed a couple times. I remember watching my 49ers rout the Chargers, for probably the one team that I really followed in depth growing up. And then, so I don't have like a memory of like watching the halftime show or, besides like the Whitney Houston national anthem, like things like that. Like for me, it was always about playing. And so the Super Bowl, watching it to me never really resonated as much, I think, as maybe some other people do. And so for me, it was always about playing. It wasn't necessarily, yeah, I was a fan. Yeah, I like to watch football, but I'd much rather play it. And so anytime that I watched anything on TV, it doesn't have to be just a Super Bowl, baseball, basketball, I'd want to go play inevitably before halftime. And so that was kind of my kind of memories of the Super Bowl growing up. And then when I was actually playing the NFL player, yeah, you get invited to a bunch of parties. If it's in your city, absolutely. People want to go to the NFL city, host, do the whole week of parties. But the vast majority of those people are going home on Saturday or Sunday, flying home during the game. That's just kind of little known secret of Super Bowl week. Very few people are actually going to the game. And so I've never been to a game. I always used to sell my tickets, the old Mike Tice flavor of kind of, making a couple extra $1,000 on those tickets when I was playing. And it was easy to do, made sense. I was never going to go. And really when I was playing personally, yeah, I'd want to watch it if I had somebody in the game that I knew, cared about, wanted them to succeed, or someone maybe the opposite. But the vast majority of the time, I needed a break, man. Like I just needed a break. Didn't watch a whole lot of playoffs, especially of my kind of decade in the league, in and out of the league. I only went to the playoffs twice. Both times lost in the wild card round, and I never played a snap either time. I was a backup both times. But even in those seasons, I didn't watch any of the rest of the playoffs. Like I needed a football break. And so for me, it was never that big of a deal. Like, yeah, we might get invited to a Super Bowl party, and definitely not hosting a Super Bowl party. And so go, and then even if I was watching and say I wanted to watch the game and had somebody that I was interested in watching, I would never be able to like sit in that huge crowd, and watch it. That's kind of like too much reflection here on like an INTJ, but like I needed to like actually watch it. Like I wanted to watch it like I was playing and like I wanted to watch it. And that's why I love the fact that the All-22 is now available. And now as I've kind of gone the full cycle of wanting nothing to do with it to being able to watch it, enjoy football with my friends, all those things, the community, everything that it kind of builds, that you hope it builds in all its best kind of attributes, to where I can enjoy it at a party and enjoy it. Don't have to watch every snap. Don't need to see the shell. Don't really care, in game, because I know I got access to the all 22, and if I want to go back and watch it, I can go back and watch it, and it's really simple and easy to do. So I've kind of done this full circle from being like, nothing. I want nothing to do with this game. I don't want to watch anything else. Like, let's go to an amusement park or something on that day. Do something different because nobody will be there because it's Super Bowl Sunday. That's actually a hot tip if you're not that into ball, but if you're not that into ball, you're probably not watching this channel. But regardless, full circle from nothing to do with it to enjoying the kind of camaraderie, being the event of the Super Bowl, just enjoying it, having my kids enjoy it, to now kind of doing the same thing. They're like, hey, you guys want to play at halftime or something like that, as opposed to watching the show. I get out there and actually enjoy football, just playing it, like the joy and fun of seeing people compete, especially at the highest level. But now it's all the way back to now. Like, now I go back, and because of this channel, I get a chance to watch the all 22. I enjoy the depth, the nuance, the X's and O's, all those things. So it's been kind of fun for me to do full circle. But I'm going to say, for the vast majority of people, and I know most of this is anecdotal, obviously, my history with the game, but I'm going to say most NFL players watch it and enjoy it, because it is the pinnacle. It's where we all aspire to be. And it didn't happen for me as a player, and so it was just one of those things where, you get past it, other than the fact that, at some point you realize that not everybody is going to be able to win a Super Bowl. It's a tough pill to swallow. Not everybody's going to win a playoff game, those type of things. But for me, it made it more painful the closer I got. And just one playoff game, I couldn't imagine, getting further into the playoffs and getting knocked out, those type of things. Really difficult to watch, as a kind of aside to tell you how difficult it is. To this day, I was a Division II student athlete in college. To this day, I will never watch a Division II national championship final. Never. Lost a handful of times in the semifinal. I will never watch the final national championship game. And so, luckily, I never lost in a championship game, conference championship game, so I can watch the Super Bowl, still enjoy it, love it. This one specifically, I know people are going to ask me, who you pulling for? Got friends on both staffs. Not friends, people that I played with on both staffs. Probably a little bit closer, or was when I was playing, to Shane Day, the quarterback coach for the Niners. Those type of things. Was on Eric Bieniemy was the running backs coach when I was in Minnesota. And so if I had to choose just between the time I spent with those guys, it would obviously be a little bit more with Shane, just with the offense, the quarterback, what they're doing in San Francisco. And so, I hope it's a great game. Hopefully y'all enjoyed this, a little peek behind the curtain. What's it like? NFL players watching the Super Bowl, super comfortable. You throwing big parties, you're hitting all those things. And I'm sure there's a bunch of different ways to do it. But for me, it was kind of the full circle. Want nothing to do with the game, to now back to being able to enjoy it. And I get to go in and watch the all 22, share it with y'all. So thanks so much for watching. See you next time. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the QB School. I'm JT O'Sullivan. Today, one question: how and if that wasn't great? All right. Every year around this time, people inevitably end up coming up to me and asking me, do NFL players watch the Super Bowl? And the answer to that, most oftentimes, that I used to like to give, that doesn't even make sense. All right, every time this